My viewers and panelists on the behalf of SCAI. Today's subject of webinar is how to woo customers on special days in malls. To discuss this, we have with us Anshul Pahuja. He is Vice President Operations Pacific Mall, Delhi. Supriya Arora, she is Marketing Head, City Center Mall, Nasik. Rahul Malhotra, he is Head of Marketing, Orient Mall, Bangalore. K. Vijayan, he is GM Operations, Acropolis Mall, Kolkata. And Manoj Singh, he is Vice President Operations, Forum Mall, Bangalore. Anshul shall be moderating this session. So over to Anshul.
Thank you, Ajib. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to moderate this session. And I would like to say a special thanks to SCAI, to Anjeev, to Sunil. And I'm sure with the great panelists and my colleagues over here, from Manoj to Vijay, Rahul and Supriya, it'll be worth a watch. Everybody comes with close to 20 plus years of experience. And the best part of this session is we have a mix of operations and marketing, and we have a mix of all the directions which represent the country. So we have people from Orion Mall, which is Rahul in Bangalore. We have Vijay from Kolkata. Acropolis Mall, we have Supriya from Nasik, and Manoj from Forum Malls. Okay. So as the topic says, how to woo the customers on the special days in the malls? The first question which I throw up right now is, how do we promote the special days, okay, with the customers to increase the footfalls? What are the elements which lies behind when we are looking at the promotions of the special days? And which are these special days which we treat? I go to Rahul to answer this.
Yeah, hi everyone. So let me share my thoughts on this. See, special days are series of special days, depend upon city dynamic, the state. Each city, state have their own special days. Having said that, we have to pick and choose the special days. Probably the most special days in the country like Diwali, Dasara, Durga Puja, then your Christmas, your Republic Day, 15th August, and so on and so forth. I believe these special days attract footfall by its own. Now it's time we need to create our own special days. Whether it is EOSS, the end of season sales, extended shopping hours, could be a days like special events curation, so that people will come on those days also. This help us to increase the turnout of the people coming to the mall. Any which ways, all our busy days. I don't know whether the 25th December, which is the footfall day for all the malls across the country, I don't know how much is transpired to the sales. In my, let's create the basket wider, have more days in our kitty to, and at the same time we promote the days very in advance. Whether it is the sale day, whether it is a May day, whether it is a Women's Day. Let's keep our horizon bigger so that we have more sales day and our sales increase. That's our bread and butter.
Lovely. Thanks for your inputs, Rahul. So when you say a Women's Day, let's hear from the woman, which is Supriya over here. So Supriya, if you can just highlight about what's your take on, how do you promote the special days to increase the footfalls?
Thank you and hello everyone. Like you rightly said, that we know the number of days that we have are all special days, but now it's a time to invent more days, like Sir just said. So we have like Friendship Day, Mother's Day, Women's Day, so all these days. Plus, what else are we doing? What big are we doing so that we attract new footfall? See, we know that these are the footfall that is regular to our mall for those certain number of days. But when I want to do something bigger, when I want to get a new footfall base, then we need to plan bigger, look bigger. Like I would just like to quote an example that we just did recently. On this 15th of August, we tied up with the local artillery center, Nasik Artillery Center, which is the biggest in Asia. So we got a display of artillery equipments to the mall for 3 days. We had a symphony band playing in the mall for one of those days. And the kind of footfall that it generated, it was unbelievable. the numbers that we saw, we just could not have hold on to the numbers. We could not control the numbers at all. But the footfall was tremendous, and the food court was, of course, the best performer in the entire year. But also, we got to see the ripple effect of these kind of events, that the footfall that they generate for the later on periods. So we saw a emotional connect. It is important to make, engage with customers today. It is, customers are not easily satisfied now. They want much more than shopping. They are not easy at all. So we need to build an emotional connect. We need to engage with them. We all do decors. We all do offers. We all do some kind of a shopping of offer. But what are we doing extra to woo them? So these kind of events, when you have a huge impact, that eventually ripple effects in the loyalty base of the customers. That's what I would like to say.
I think very true. I can relate to it. I think post-COVID, it was almost 2 years when people were sitting inside their homes and we were counting the waves, which is from wave 1 to wave 4, things have passed. And after that, when they're coming to the malls, they have a lot of expectations. And people are traveling abroad also, and they see compare things with the Indian malls. So when I come to Manoj over here, Manoj, what's your take? How do you see the challenges, or how do you plan the special days in your malls? How do you anticipate things?
Okay, thank you, Anshul and the SCAI, to holding this session. It's really a topic which is very close to all of our hearts, people who are in mall industry. I'll start with taking example of parallel from the movie industry. Movie industry, we know what is the blockbuster, what importance it has in the movie industry. Recently, we saw movies like Pushpa, KGF 2, RRR, Pathan, what they have done to the industry. And I think we all know they have done the God's business, and we, the mall business, also got a lot of benefits because of the footfalls and all that. But one thing was common in all these movies was the content. They have unique content. So if I now use the same analogy in our business or for special days, we know Diwali, Christmas is all the same across the country, but how do we differentiate ourselves? So we have to come up with a unique content around the same festival or a special day, and then take it to the consumer. They should feel excited. We should trigger excitement among the consumer around that day, because every year they're the same Diwali, but how do we present it in a new form, new ways around that? We should build a lot of topical activities around that thing, and we should have a relevant decor. We should have a relevant offering in terms of product and services. The decor should be engaging not only a particular customer, to the entire community around the mall. And also, to get more mileage out of it, we should advance the timeline of our advertising around it. As people, we've seen a lot of, before 20 days, a month ago, we start seeing a lot of small videos started coming in through our customer, which is generally called UGCs, which actually, before we started our first post, some customers already seen the decor, and he has posted some video in Insta or other social media, and it's already got popular. So we get those benefits as well. And sometimes even influencers come handy. There is a lot of new mediums of popping up to advertise those days to get the maximum benefit of it. Now coming back to the readiness of the mall, right? So we all know, the moment we get a huge footfall, the first area is the parking. We always talk about parking. Are we ready for? So what we have started seeing, that every big day now, not only the mall gets choco-blocked, the entire region, entire area about between 2 to 3 kilometers are getting choco-blocked. We're getting complaints from the police and traffic department. You guys have to plan better. So what we're doing nowadays is that we plan way ahead of these special days. We meet this traffic police and the local government. We tell them that this is a plan. We also discuss the routes, and we ask for additional manpower from their side. We additionally put signages around it. So not only, we don't focus only in the experience within the mall, also what is the approach roads, the entire commute experience has to be improved. It should be any other day. If because customer comes once and the experience is not good, he might not come for the next special day, right? So we also plan additional manpower on the road inside the mall. Sometimes we create more lanes in the parking, so that the dwell time, so sometimes technology come in handy. Like in recent days, we've seen this advent of fast tags, right? Earlier, we used to, in a minimum at least 60 to 90, 1.5 minutes used to take for a transaction. Now this timeline has come to 10 seconds. A car can just pass on, just zoom past our boom barriers. So these technologies are really helping us, this ANPR or the world. So plus, additionally, we also know the washrooms and all that. So we also add a lot of housekeeping staff and also security, because when the crowd is more, there are the chances of incidents, safety incidents increase in the malls. To ensure that there's zero incident, we ensure the adequate manpower is already in place. Special signages, because there may be some permanent signage in the mall, but for certain days we might need some extra signages to direct people to right directions. Also, better manpower planning, because sometimes if somebody is doing a stretch shift from the morning, he may be already tired by the time the new customer comes in the mall at, let's say, evening. So we plan our days, we schedule their manpower according to, so that we get a fresh hands and legs and eyes on the floor when the customer comes in the evening. Also, some additional valet parking for women, some tie up with Ola and Uber. So we do all that to plan that extra surge of people who come to the mall, which is then taken care by the marketing initiative, which already spoken about. Yeah.
Great. Okay, I think you've touched upon movies, you've touched upon parking, you've touched upon things which is, very evident and very, very, in terms of important. When we plan a promotion or we plan in terms of, any event at our Pacific Mall also, we look at minimum 45 to 60 days in advance. Yes. And those kind of planning, I think we all are looking at it.
Yes.
And a lot of planning is deep down involved in terms of how do we do it, who's involved in this, a basic checklist, we call it a pre-event checklist, in terms of, what is kind of to the last minute, who's involved in what and what are their deliverables. So I'm sure, I think Vijay would also have his own in terms of highlights. So Vijay, what brings, in terms of an Acropolis mall in Kolkata, how do you handle these things and what kind of, how do you woo the customers in the mall? What's your take on this?
Thank you, Anshul.
You're welcome.
Thank you. See, I agree with what Ms. Manoj has said. But we need precision planning for this from day 1 to day 10. What we do, we normally make an event calendar at the beginning of the year. What are the events we are going to happen in this mall? Basically, then we start it with our social media. That is when sometimes we do it in the form of a teaser. Suppose if we are organizing an event, we send a teaser, because teaser plays a major role. That we start around a month ago. That those people start looking for the site, what is going to happen there. Then what happens? We engage the retailers, because see, whatever we arrange, the mall authorities can arrange safety, security, cleanliness, everything, but the customer need products. For that, we tie up with, we engage the retailers and ask them to come with offers, and we boost that in our social media. So what is a portion one outside is taken care of, because the customer know that what is going to happen, what you are going to get out of the get at Acropolis or wherever at my mall. Then the communication is clear. Then we decorate the mall according to the theme, particularly if it is Durga Puja, that is now that my mall is decorated based on the Bengali New Year, that Pala Vaishakhi. Different malls have different strategies, because you cannot measure all the malls with the same yardstick. In Calcutta, one of the biggest event is Durga Puja. Durga Puja happens sometime in September end or October 1st middle. So that period, shopping starts 15 days before the event. So means, suppose the Durga Puja is starting at maybe 20th of October. The mall has to be decked up minimum 1st of October. Entire thing is perfect. Everything is planned, executed, advertising, bloggers, social media, influencer, everything engaged and promoted, that is done. Now, these particular 15 days are the peak business. Because from Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, these 6 days, shopping is very less. But that 15 days before that, prior to that. So we concentrate that. That decoration arrangement we keep till Diwali. And when immediate Diwali we only make some little bit changes. So what they are also there, rather than doing two decorations for Durga Puja and Diwali, in one decoration we cover both with a little bit changes. That is one. Second is, like what Supriya said, there are 52 Saturdays, 52 Sundays, 14 government holidays, maybe around another 14 or 15 or 16 state government holidays. All together, what it comes to around 134 days are the, you may call it the big days, or the days where we need not do much to bring the football to the ball. But in a year, these 134 days event is enough for a mall to survive? No, there you need that what Supriya has done. Supriya has done a wonderful thing by creating another big day for the mall, by bringing the artillery into the mall. Similarly, what we do, we concentrate on food festivals. We organize around 10 to 15 food festivals in the mall, and before every food festival, we do this teaser. Something is cooking for you at Acropolis. In our social media, this is the message it goes. So people get a lot of interest on it. What is happening here? Something cooking in Acropolis on this day. Look for this side, look for this side. We tease them for around 2 weeks. Then what happens? Whenever we conduct a food festival, it not only increases my food court sales, but also increases the sale of my retailers in the dull days, because we categorize that year in three parts. One is normal days, peak days, and dull days. After Valentine's week, there is a 2 weeks gap. The footfall is very low. Then after January, New Year till February middle is a dull period. So those dull period, what we should do, what we are supposed to get, because we cannot survive based on these 137 days. We have to create more and more big days, like we do the midnight sales, end of season sales, then summer sale, winter sale. So whatever is available, we add something to that, engage the retailers, and do big business.
Great. Thank you. I think you touched upon food. That's one of the favorite topic of, I think, all of us in terms of over here. We have seen a trend which is evolving after post-COVID. There's a lot of restaurants which are mushrooming. Food is coming up, in terms of the area inside the mall. That is also increasing, and the food business overall is increasing. And thereby, when Manoj touched upon the movies, I think the rush for the Pathan is worth watch for, in terms of, I would wish Pathan kind of a movie gets launched every week or maybe every alternate week, and we are done for the day. So our calendar is planned for the entire year. I'm sure everybody is looking at the marketing calendar for the entire year. How does the food transformed as an element in terms of, how do you woo a customer considering food as a thought and considering entertainment? I think these two areas across the malls, they are increasing a lot as far as the size is concerned, demand is concerned, and the business is concerned. So a food industry as well as the entertainment, which is a gaming zone. So what's your take on this, Manoj, if I would start with you?
Okay, so as rightly picked out, earlier, if I say about 5-10 years back, all the malls used to have a food court where you have 10 to 15 kitchens, maybe 20, and there'll be about 4 or 5 restaurants. That was a standard mix in any mall. But we've seen last 5 to 10 years, the contribution of F&B is going in every mall. People are converting a normal retail into an F&B. You'll not believe, now we've just launched a mall in South Bangalore. We have 60 plus F&B options now. So from a services point of view now, the F&B is taking an anchor positioning in a mall. It is malls are trying to create a unique positioning through their F&B. You'll not believe we have a mall in Brigade Road which is totally dedicated only for F&B. Entire mall is for F&B, and there's a cinema there. And in newer malls which we're planning in near future, we are planning to 80 to 100 F&B options in the mall. So
Wow.
this is getting real serious now in this kind of business. So coming to this point, yes, F&B is a real what do you call it, a trigger to get footfalls in the mall now. And we generally prepare if there is a big day, yes, if there's a big movie, if there's a USS is going on, there is an equal impact seen in the F&B business. This contribution was under 10% earlier. The F&B contribution towards the mall business was under 10% to 7, 8, but now it is going double digits. It's going already with 15 to 18, and I'm sure in the near future it will start crossing 25% of any mall business. And the malls we're planning of 100% F&B, I think 80-90% of the business will come from F&B alone. So this is a serious category to watch out for, I think, for developers and the brands across India. This has to be taken. We are bringing F&B right at the ground floor, where we used to give to the fashion brands and major anchors. We have brought the F&B to the ground floor now. So that kind of seriousness we're giving, because this category is showing promise. It's showing promise.
Great. I think I can relate to things over here. When the F&B is coming on the ground floor, there's a lot of importance being given to the F&B. And 2 years back, thinking of 80 to 100 F&B outlets in a mall, you won't get brands also. You won't see the number of brands who can do that much of business, and we can probably bank on those guys in terms of giving that space into the malls. So what's your take, Supriya, on this as far as the food and the entertainment industry, which is going, and how these two things which are wooing the customers when they're coming to the malls?
Like you rightly said, and what Mr. Manoj also said, F&B and entertainment has become a very, very important game changer now. So planning not only having increasing number of kitchens and having good restaurants, but also continuously planning food festivals throughout the year. Like Mr. Vijay said, that is something which pulls the crowd. Nowadays, people have become very experimentative with food. They don't mind trying different cuisines, different food. They're open because of social media awareness. Probably they're open to all sorts of cuisines, and they all want to eat and experiment. So this is where we can leverage, as and give them what they want, and probably give them much more than what they expect. The same is the case with the entertainment. FECs, if you talk about, mall is just not a shopping destination today. Mall is much more. It is a destination. When you come to the mall, you come for an experience. You just don't come here to shop nowadays. Shop you can do at high street as well. When you come to mall, you want to do much more than just shopping. So that is where F&B, FECs all put in. And when we are talking about how to woo the customers, I would again go back there. So when we plan our marketing calendar, event calendar throughout the year, we also plan how to do things differently than we have done in the previous or the previous year. With changing times and trends, we cannot continue what we have been doing year on year. 6 months, within a span of 6 months, things go outdated. People change, trends change. So we have to keep up to the customer expectations, because like I said earlier, customers have become really smart. They're very smart, they're very educated, they're very informed, and they're not ready to settle for less. So they will understand, and there has to be the element for them to look forward to come to the mall. We have to be on our toes to keep on having innovative offerings, to promote it in a way that it reaches to them, and they are keen to come to the mall for those things other than shopping, be it food, be it entertainment, or be it innovative marketing programs. That's what I would say.
Yeah, great. So I think when we say food, I'm sure we have thought of food trucks, and we have thought of the cow gullies of the world, and we have thought of other things in terms of a lot of small kiosk and made a story around it. So Rahul, what element does it play when you're planning your event calendar for the year? Okay, how do you think of food and entertainment as any event per se? Nowadays you have those Instagram bloggers also, probably Mr. Tikku and things like that, which is there on a back of a call. You can call these guys and cover the food elements and do a lot of the videos around the restaurants, which when you show those hot dishes being served, I'm sure customers can relate to it, and they would want to come running to try these things, the new offerings and all this stuff. how do you look at giving a surprise element, as in when a restaurant opens up or as in when any gaming zone opens up? What things do you plan and how do you execute that?
So if you notice the way back 7-8 years back, where people tend to come to the mall for shopping and eventually they go for food and entertainment. Now the game is totally changed. People come to the mall for food, eventually they go for shopping. Because if you notice, we tend to go to the mall at least 2 to 3 times in a month for food and once or 2 times for a shopping. Because shopping is the limit to shop, and you don't have much big wardrobe to fit in, especially for the region like South India, where seasonality is not there, as opposed to the northern India, where seasonality is there. We have winter, we have summer.
Yeah.
In South India, we only have one season, which is neutral season. Now coming back to how we leverage the food and FSC to have the more footfall. See, eventually when you tend to see the video and photographs of the dishes, of the cuisine, of the making of the food, you tend to indulge with the food. So what we do, we frequently make the reels and then small videos and put it on social media, and we boost them so that people will tend to see this and, oh my God, this particular outlet is there in the mall. We don't know. Oh, this dish is there. I feel like tempting about it, and eventually you make a plan to go tomorrow, day after, and on a weekend. So we have witnessed by looking at the video and the photograph, we tend to go to the mall. Especially when we do any activity, especially example case of the activity like concerts or music activity, we tend to tied up with all the retailers so that they can set up their a small cuisine, small setup at the next to the concert area, and eventually it will be more of a teaser, and then it turned out to their walk into their store, to their restaurants.
Great. So I think, Vijan, how do you see how do you probably anticipate in Kolkata when you have any plans of launching a fish festival or a Rasagolla festival or a Sandesh festival, or how do you probably nowadays even the mangoes as a season, we have a lot of mango festivals coming up, and many malls are trying, and in terms of things, in terms of variety of mangoes. So what do you do in Kolkata? How do you woo the customers as far as the food is concerned? You're on mute. If you can just unmute yourself.
Sorry. Yeah. In fact, in my event calendar, there is an event named Mango Mania. This is one of the signature event we led for the last so many years. We see Calcuttans basically is a majority are non-veg party. So fish and non-veg items are, when we organize a food festival, we normally set around 12 stalls. Out of these 12 stalls, 10 are non-veg counters and other 2 are sweets. So non-vegetarian food plus sweets is the combination which normally happens here. Mango Mania is another thing which we do in this season, when maybe after May we conduct that. We invite the farmers. The farmers come with their product in the mall. We set up in our atrium. We do a lot of pre and post advertising through social media and teasers and our own what's called SMS blast. That way, social media is the one we normally do in the no print media. Basically, majority of the print media are almost over. We do that particularly in social media nowadays. Then fish, the restaurants normally conduct a lot of sorts. Some Hilsa festival, that is one event. Then seafood festival is another event. That food is absolutely that the Calcuttans are basically the food loving Calcuttans. That is what I say, that the malls cannot be measured with the same yardstick. Because if I open a similar restaurant, mall in somewhere in the Raipur area, the whatever we sell at this part may not work there. So the fundamentals are different. So accordingly, you have to set it the local taste and local tones and arrange the menus.
Okay, when we say a special days can be Diwali, Christmas, Durga Puja, Onam, depending upon the region, depending upon the area. Customers come with a set expectations. On a special day when I'm coming to your mall, I have thought about it that yes, I would get what I want on that day when I'm coming to the mall. Okay, whether it is a piece of a time, whether it is a nice memory, whether it is a nice food, whether it is a good decor, whether it is, in terms of a nice offering, which is a marketing offer or a call today, in terms of which you plan over there. Living up to the customer's expectation on the special days. There are two kind of days. One which is already there, that is in the calendar, like Diwali and all those things. And second is which we create. For an example, we create like end of season sales. We create our own things like Supriya said in terms of an artillery festival. These are the mall specific. So when customer is coming with an expectation, how do you woo that customer on that day? What elements, goes behind it? One is of course food. What are the elements which you plan and which you think, maybe, top 5 or top 3, which comes to your mind, okay? That helps the customers in terms of looking at on a special day when they're coming over there, and they go with a good memory. So Rahul can pitch in over here.
Sorry, Anshul, I'm just entering here. Rahul, just give me a few seconds. Viewers, if you want, you can post your questions, which we shall take up at the end of this session. Right. Okay. Thank you. So please go ahead.
Okay. So Rahul, I repeat in case you would like to. So the question which I have is, customers come with a set of expectations on a special day. When I would like to celebrate Diwali with you in the mall, when I would like to celebrate Dhanteras with you, when I would like to celebrate Christmas with you, I'm coming with a thought that yes, I would go back peacefully. I would have my memories. I would click pictures with my kids. I would have good time in the mall. So I'm sure in your mind, you're also prepared yourself as well as your team. And there are a lot of planning involved that you are welcoming maybe 40,000, 50,000 customers a day on a day like Christmas. And how do you woo everybody? What thought process goes behind this? What are the thinking process which you're looking at?
Right, it's a very challenging task for each business to wow each and every customer. Yes, for a mall, when customers come to the mall, they have intent to have a day well spent, starting from the entrance to the exit. So a lot of planning is required, especially for the main days like Diwali and Christmas, where we expect a double or triple footfall, and each and every customer is a different category. Some are shoppers, some are window shoppers. Starting from the parking to the housekeeping to the extra staff to the extra manpower, the kitchen equipment at the food court, fine dine, FAC area, manpower planning at the retailer end, at the mall end has to be done meticulously. It's a task which each and of us is being equipped with, and that's what is matter a lot. Over a year, if any mall company, mall management is able to do this meticulously, then we are game. Each and every customer will come to the mall. Next time when they think of going to the mall, they have a subconscious mind. Yes, I've been to the particular mall on a particular day where I had a great day. A wow factor was there. I had a great time. My family was enjoyed. There was no complaint, whether it is parking or a housekeeping or a washroom facilities. Then the automatically subconscious mind, you have a repeat visit. This helps us to increase the footfall without spending much money on a media, and because we have win the customer confidence. And over a year, when you have number of customers increased, then you have a set of customers who come to your mall, whether it is you being promoted and you have activity or no. They know in a particular festive period, when Diwali be Christmas, the mall will be decked up, there will be activities, there's shopping festival going on, and so on and so forth. That will increase the footfall, eventually increase the top line of the company.
Great. I think when you woo a customer, there are a lot of elements involved in this, from decor to lights to parking to housekeeping to security, food court management, and all those things. I think they are very well said. Coming on to the forum malls, Manoj, how do you give a lasting memory to the customers coming at the mall? So they must go happy, they enjoy the mall. What does your team plays a role in terms of wooing them and then making them a lasting impression that yes, you are here to have fun and we connect with you, and you're always welcome back in the malls?
Taking the feather from what Rahul said, I think each customer have its own expectation when they come to a mall, whether it is a normal day or a special day. And it's always a difficult task to actually wow every customer who comes in. But it can happen. It's not that impossible. Yes, it is possible through a meticulous planning. So what we do, we start the plan. We start planning a marketing calendar right before the financial year starts, and we plot the entire events. We detail it to the not only to the months, weeks. We plan it to the days also. So that is one part of planning. And then, as I said earlier, that customer comes for some certain their need fulfillment. It can be just to spend some quality time with the family, or they have a special buying needs, or he wants some space to click picture, right, to post it online, and he want to look little. And so, as Rahul said, yes, it has to be. As I earlier said, in my comment, the content is the key. So we try to create a unique content around that. Content includes, let's say, a decor. So earlier, if I remember, we used to do Christmas decor inside the mall, right? Nowadays, most of the malls have started taking the Christmas tree from inside to the outside of the mall, because largely most of the malls are present on a very, very busy road, busy street, or they make it busy in due years. So we take the trees now. We're taking the trees outside. That we're taking the decor outside. So we're basically as a form of advertising. We at least do a decor a 1 month or 45 days prior to the exact event. So people know, okay, there's some kind of interesting decor has come up. And it's an Instagram age or it's a real age. So people come, they make videos, they want to look a little extra, and they want to increase their followers or whatever, they want to be their influencers. So there are certain age group of people who come for that. There's a certain age group of people who will come for a specific need in terms of product. So we try to build around certain offers around specific products around those. So we start planning with the brands who are there. It can be a special offer. It can be a specific product also. Sometimes, let's say there's a specific festival. Let's say take an example of Diwali. So we try to do a special market for things which can be bought around Diwali. So people will have a reason to come for that as well. And Diwali is not just Diwali. Diwali is like it goes on at least 3 to 4 weeks. It goes for at least a month preparation. It's right. We clean our houses, we decor our houses, then we buy clothes, then we buy sweets, then we meet friends, we meet families, then there are gatherings are planned. So Diwali is whole round. That's why it's one of the biggest festivals in the country. So it's all about planning, creating experiences in the mall. How do we cater each and every customer, age group, class-wise, and their respective needs, how we can fulfill it. So we plan that and we execute it. And as at the end, I can say the communication is key. You have to communicate well in advance what you're doing. Right? So that's the key. We have to advance our communication strategy at least a month before. You need to shout out loud what you're doing, how you're doing, what you're doing different this year, what different you're doing from the other malls in the city. You don't have to. You have to compete with your competition malls. Also, you have to compete with yourself, because whatever you've done last year, you cannot repeat it this year. You have to do something new, right? So all these things come in play when we make a strategy around the special days.
Great. Thanks, Parag. I think you covered a lot of things. So when you touched upon Instagram followers and you touched upon how to increase the likes, I think I head on to a marketing with Supriya. So Supriya, just tell us, in City Center Nasik, you take example of any event during the year. This could be like Diwali or Christmas. What goes into your planning? How do you plan that for that event as far as the marketing is concerned? Your team, what goes into in terms of the intricacies of 5-10 things which you look at, and that goes behind, okay, that's behind the scene, behind the curtains, that what we do, okay, in the malls, thereby once it's executed, okay, and the customers are pretty happy. That's how they go with the lasting impressions. So from a marketing angle, if you can just elaborate, how do you ensure that things are aligned? In any event, you can probably take up Diwali or Christmas and just tell us how many days back you start the planning and what goes into the planning and thereby the end result. Just take us the journey if you can.
So, like everybody rightly said, that the plan needs to be prepared way well in advance. We cannot do last minute running around and execute a decor or probably a Diwali offer or a Diwali shopping, giveaway. We do a lot of giveaways. We might do cashback offers. We do gifting, like we might be offering a TV or a car or whatever elements we decide. Of course, budget is also a big consideration over here. So basis on that, also we need to be innovative. We can't do the same kind of offers that we've done last year. So at least a month in advance, everything has to be ready. For us, Diwali starts from Dashera to Diwali. It is the peak time when the sales is at its peak. Diwali, on the day of Diwali, people would not shop as much as they shop before the Diwali day. They don't consider it auspicious saying that Lakshmi jani nahi chahiye on that day, but it does not hold true anymore. People spend a lot on that day as well, and subsequent days, people who are working, who may not have had the time to shop, so when they have Diwali leaves, they shop later on as well. But when you consider about the masses, of course they spend a lot. From Dashera to Diwali is a peak, so we ensure that our offer is right, starts mostly from Dashera, and then whatever days, number of days, 10, 15, 20 days we have. So when we want to start our offer on Dashera, at least 15 days in advance minimum, the communication needs to go out. There are like the communication also starts, it builds up, it will start with small teasers, then it will eventually divulge some details of information that what the actual offering is all about, and then probably we disclose at what we are actually giving away on this Diwali. Then comes the decor part. Even the decor has to be in line with the timing of the decor has to be in line with the offer that we are doing. We also need to ensure that the communication probably is done through the right medium. Like nowadays, we've shifted a lot of our communication to social media. We are now not, of course, we do newspaper and radio and hoarding, but it has gone way down compared to the social media. We have Instagram influencers who are, we get the reels done. They come to the show. We get them to the mall to promote what we are doing. How to show them the mall, how things are looking, what Diwali festive. We also do a lot of pop-up markets. Throughout the year, we have a pop-up market calendar as well. So throughout the year, we have, theme-based pop-up markets. We need to promote that. So Diwali will have a Diwali heart or probably Diwali pop-up market as well. So there are multiple elements. There's a pop-up market, there's decor, there's a shopping offer, and all this communication is the key. Till you do not communicate, you will not get people to the mall. So communication plays a very important role, and we really need to plan way in advance. If we want it to be rolled out on Diwali or on Dashera day, then at least a month in advance the plans have to be fixed, so that it's a seamless process eventually. Otherwise, you're just running around trying to make ends meet.
Great. I think 30 days to 45 days is what everybody is looking at in terms of planning. So great. So how Pujo is planned, Vijay, at Kolkata? How things you're looking at in terms of how are you ensuring? Because I assume that is the biggest festival out there. Okay, and in the biggest festival, everybody comes with a very, very high expectations. Okay, and when they come into the mall, how are you ensuring that they go back happy? They go back probably in terms of filled with memories, filled with photographs, and thereby you increase followerships.
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you. Being one of the biggest event in West Bengal, we plan it. We take minimum 60 days time for the entire thing, because from the end day to the day one, 30 days before the event, we normally start the decorations. The mall is decorated. The shoppings, almost every apparel outside come with the new fashion, new that designs of apparels. Then the food court also arrange, deck up with the various new offers commensurating with the present event. This way that one part is taken care. But the main thing is the communications. because the entire malls in Calcutta will be doing the same thing. But the communication plays a major role in success of an event, of a celebration, of a big day. So what you are doing, like what Mr. Rahul has said, shout out. Yeah, like Mr. Manoj said, shout out. Tell people that what you are doing. What is new? What is new you are going to get at this property? What are the offers there? What comfort you are going to give to the residents, the people? The decoration of the mall. What are the theme you have used for that particular event, particular occasion? These all are the major aspects into that. Then prior to that, what we do is we are planned up bloggers, influencers, social media, and particularly a target group whom we will be communicating through our WhatsApp or social media or what's called SMS blast. Simultaneously, we also do a shopping festival during those season. You come and shop, and then we conduct a lottery. Give some. Last year, what we have done was we have distributed around 1,000 dinner sets. You shop for X amount and above. 24 piece shop dinner set is given absolutely free. You just come with the bill, show at the counter, and collect it and go. That was another thing that was also a boost. Prior to that, that we have done that. The suitcase was given, a VIP suitcase worth around 7,000 plus was given free for a shopping of 15,000 plus. So these all are the things we normally plan during these important festivals, and it has done wonders to this property.
Great. I think when the economy is booming, there are a lot of malls which is coming up, there are a lot of high street which is coming up, like there are a lot of eateries and joints, everybody is increasing. So how do we look at competition? Okay, in this competition times, how are the numbers increasing, which is post-COVID and pre-COVID and post-COVID now? How do you see that? Yes, we are ready for a challenge in terms of the customers are coming back from pre-COVID to post-COVID. Are the numbers increasing? Are in terms of the sales increasing? Is the sales to the food court or the sales in terms of the overall consumption which is increasing, and which categories which you think are giving the best results, whether it is a men's category or a food category or a women's category, cosmetics, which category is increasing a lot, which thereby translates to, those many customers of that category are coming to the mall and they are getting satisfied. So how do you satisfy those customers, which is, I would say, pre-COVID to post-COVID? And in this competitive times, when the malls are increasing, how are you ensuring that my footfalls are either same or increasing with time? So, Supriya, you can take this question.
So what you're saying is very right. Pre-COVID and post-COVID, there was definitely post-COVID has hit everybody very hard. So everybody, especially the malls, we were the one who had to take the biggest brunt of the COVID. But yes, post-COVID scenario, we have been monitoring our sales, our trading densities, month on month, day on day, category wise, and we have noticed that we have definitely crossed all our pre-COVID numbers in terms of the overall mall TD, if I say, or if for a category TD. Surprisingly, when we sit and observe, I see the men's category doing very well. Food court is always on a boom. It is definitely crossing all the pre-COVID numbers, but men's category is also picking up well. Another category that has picked up pretty well after the pre-COVID is post-COVID is athleisure. Comfort, athleisure brands. In fact, when we were doing our analysis post festive times, we also noticed that even after on Diwali, the sale of athleisure brand has also, athleisure products category is also increased. So meaning that people are not only shopping for festive collection, they're still looking for comfort. I think that COVID has got them into that comfort zone. So athleisure brands, menswear brands, food court, cosmetic is on a peak nowadays. In spite of so many online, I would not say that it's not just other malls and other high street retail, even online is also a competition to us. In spite of that, we have a lot of kiosk catering to big cosmetic brands. Also, we have men's cosmetic brands, and which are also doing pretty well. So there's a steady increase in the numbers. We have already surpassed our pre-COVID numbers, and now it is up to us to maintain that and probably work hard to increase the number even more. What we could say earlier was a revenge shopping. When it goes down, like March generally being exam period, it goes down. Feb 14, 15 Feb onwards, again it is a slow season for malls. And then it is up to us that now, since it's again summer's vacation period, again it will go down. When it is Pitra Paksh, Shraddh, again it goes down. So now we are working on channelizing our energies towards targeting to increase and probably woo customers on those days, which are not supposed to be shopping periods. So that is what we are working on now. This is what we are shifting our strategies to now.
Great. I think now we have the special days approaching is the vacation, which you've rightly said, and
Yes.
then followed by, I would say, 15th of August. That could be a day around the sales time, which, seasonality, which falls into place. So, Manoj, how do you see in those times when there is, a lot of malls around your properties, they would also be doing a lot of things. Okay. What do you do, which is different probably, I would say at your malls, and how do you attract your customers back?
So as I was earlier saying, that it's about the content. As I said, Diwali is same for all the malls and everybody around us. But it's how you celebrate. How do you create a proper communication strategy around it? How you are doing better than the last year, better than your competition. And also, it's not about special day. You have to build loyalty among a customer, so that whether it's special or not special, they come only to your mall. And as we're talking about food, and we cannot discount the product mix which we have in the mall, right? The leasing plays a very important role. We've been talking about marketing and operations all this while. We should also talk about leasing, because the entire product mix is built by them, and the kind of you build the unique product mix at the time of leasing the mall, which is very, very important to get the sustainable footfall in a mall. Yes, this important days are important only to get a blip, right? But if you have to have a strong base of footfall also. So coming back to the special days, yes. So we keep on strategizing that how do we celebrate this day little differently than first what we did last year, and also how we can do it differently from the other malls. So we built campaigns around a decor, around the food offering, around the engagement, how we can engage customer, how can we have places where people can take pictures, they can create memories, they can come with their friends, families, and a lot of other topical activities which is stitched together to create a larger campaign around it. Sometimes customer doesn't feel that it's not about one activity, it's about series of maybe 20, 30 activities which are happening in the mall, which is actually creating that overall experience of that visit of a, let's say, particular day or a particular time in the day. Let's say because even the brands also come with a very interesting offers during the day. There are some movies are launched during the same day. So we need to, as a marketer or as a mall operator, we need to stitch all that into one package and sell it to the customer. That's the key, because as a mall, we don't sell anything directly, right? We only create experience around the product. So that's what we do. So our job is to create that larger experience, stitching all the offering together and as a bouquet, and then offer to the customer.
Great. I think very well said. It's all about a bouquet. I think mall caters to a lot of things. Okay, and then we invite the customers. This is that. So now, Rahul, coming on to you. With the online thing going up, okay, it's just a click. I can order things at home, and I can be at ease, and the product comes at probably within a day, 2 days, 3 days, and things like that. And I'm not there to see the park my car, look at the other woes, go to the cashier, see things and all that stuff. You might be, as a marketer, you might be facing a challenge to those customers, how to invite them back to the malls, because they are the ones you have to woo them. With the online thing going up, and of course now offline also is not that bad. There are people who are coming to the malls. So how do you think those online people who still have a craze that yes, my work is done, I don't want to come, how do you handle those people?
The challenges was never there at all. Probably when we starting mushrooming almost a decade back, we had an apprehension whether what will happen to the mall and brick and mortar, but both coexisted. Because at the same time, especially in the India, on the weekend, what to do? Shopping is one of the reasons we go out to the mall. The first thing comes to our mind on a weekend, what to do? Apart from the they're taking a rest or after a weekday. Probably we can go on out session, or eventually if you're not going out session, the next question is let's go to the mall. And because you can't beat the experience of the mall, because malls are large scale, the entire family can go together, you can touch and feel the product, you can dine out. Eating a pizza at the home and eating pizza at the Domino's or a fine dine restaurant is totally different. Getting a meal served at your home and a restaurant is totally different. You can't beat that. Same time, the customer intend to come to the mall. So I don't think there is any challenge in terms of the existence of e-commerce versus the brick and mortar. People tend to come, they will keep coming to the mall. It depends upon which mall they will go. Whether it's a special day, whether it's a normal day, we have to wow each and every customer. Experience, which is matter in law. Touch and feel, experience, FAC, food, eat leisure, decor, activities, concert, experience, you can't take away. You can't have it in the online business. On a touch and feel. Eventually you will spend up 5 minutes to get the product done, but that ownership is not there. That's the key point for the mall, and it will keep growing it. And if you want to have more business, the answer is let's wow each and every customer. Let's leave the subconscious mind of each customer. The more people are there, we live in their subconscious mind, the more business we have.
Great. Thank you. And that answers my question, as well as I was looking at the question answers over here in a Q&A session. A similar question is being asked in the same panel also. The panelists have the question, it's there, which how are the malls trying to influence people to come into the malls with an online shopping going up? So I think we have answered that. Coming on to the Q&A session over here, we have roughly 6 questions. One is being answered. So I go to Vijayan. Vijayan, how is the incremental percentage of sales or a footfall percentage, which is a ballpark figure, when the mall look at a food festivals, is there some figure which you can share with us? What is the number which has gone up?
Yes. 20% is the one which we have achieved during the last 4 food festivals.
Okay. So 20% number which has gone up when we do a food festival. That's the kind of numbers.
Correct.
Okay. Great.
Anshul, we have got a question from a viewer.
Please.
The question is, please guide us. How should we reach our potential customers to come for shopping on the special days? And what is the most economical and effective medium to reach customers?
Anybody want to take this question, or should I answer this?
Yeah, the answer is very clear. Each and every customer, when they need of buying spree on a special day or normal day, you should live on this subconscious mind. When you visited on a particular day, after a week's time, 1 month's time, 3 months' time, you had a need of a particular product. Let's say, example, you want to have a denim. The first question comes to your subconscious mind, let's go to a Orion mall or particular mall, where you don't have to spend much money. In case you have 10,000, 20,000 customers in a city, you are game. Yeah, over and above, you do your marketing medium, could be radio, could be print ad, could be social media, could be read. But yes, you need to have a customer with a good experience at your mall, and then it keep multiplying your walk-ins.
I would like to add here, I think in marketing classes, we always to learn about that the most effective medium is word of mouth, right? But that word of mouth has been replaced by the social media. That is one of the most effective medium now, and one of the cheapest as well. If there are influencers and UGCs if there are content being created in your mall, your game. There's no money to be put in. Just need to have right content in the mall. People will promote your mall automatically and free of cost.
Okay, Mr. Sunny Sodhi, his question is, each mall in the country might not be food anchor heavy. What would be the key drivers for smaller neighborhood centers to successfully keep drawing customers and fight with the giants of the city in order to sustain and continue to be relevant? Should I repeat the question or it's clear?
That's right.
I will try to answer that question. Yeah, see, earlier I think for 2 to 3 lakh square feet mall was considered to be a big mall. But now I think the size is, if anything is under 1 million square feet, is not considered to be a big mall. But yes, in our country, there are a lot of malls, neighborhood center, who are in the range of 2.5 to 3.5, 4 lakh square feet. So the answer to the question is that you have to pick certain categories and you have to go deeper into that category. You cannot cater all the categories, obviously because of the constraint of size. And the dynamics of the size also keeps changing. Earlier, we used to have large hypermarkets in the malls. Slowly, that area is also getting shrinked. I remember the size of the hypermarket was ranging up to 1 lakh square feet. Now I'm seeing hypermarkets in the range of 25,000 square feet also in malls, and they're doing pretty well to the equal business they're doing, which is occupying a bigger size. So it's about churning the space in the right direction. You have to pick certain categories where you want to be strong, you want to be specialized on categories. So that is required on a long-term strategy. In a short term, you can, let's say, as we're talking about food, if you don't have nice restaurants, you can strengthen your food court by churning the brands. There are some brands which are already been outdated. You churn them out, get new fresh brand, because customers need freshness, especially in this category. And second, if you can't do that as well, you can do a lot of food festivals around. If you have to find space, there are food trucks camp. There are a lot of ideations that's happened. A lot of malls have done that. So those ideas can be adopted. But key is to pick the right category which is suiting your catchment and go deeper into that category. Either you get those brands or do marketing campaigns around those categories. Hope I've answered, Sunny.
I would like to add one thing. See, if you're fully aware that what is the catchment area and which are the category of people staying there, living in that and around the property, then only you should select your anchors and the brands in the mall. Suppose if the catchment area is a lower income group or middle income group, if you opened a Zara or Gucci showroom there, they won't be able to survive there, right? So you have to understand the pulse of that particular area, the catchment area, and the level of people, middle income, lower middle income, upper middle income, and the high income group. That category you have to analyze from that particular area. Then only you should choose the brands that only will survive the 2-tier and 3-tier cities.
Okay, the next question is anonymous attendee. His question is, how are the malls trying to influence people to come into the malls with online shopping going up? And another anonymous attendee, I don't know whether it's the same person or a different person, what is incentivizing people to come to the mall instead of just ordering online?
I think, Sanjeev, I read the question and I asked Rahul, and this was kind of a coincidence that, I was looking at in terms of in the online age or an era, how the marketing plan things and they get the customers into the malls. I think he has answered that. Maybe if somebody else would want to take up the has any inputs, they can do that. But people want to come to the malls. People want to experience things. People want to, the entire family along with the kids and the wife. People would want to see things. How physically you see, you eat, you probably go out. Online is there to stay. Offline is there to stay. Nobody can deny it. But there are things which, in terms of how do we influence people? There are many areas which we can do at the malls, which online can't. They give a pricing and an offer and that's it. But when you come to the mall, from an ingress to an egress, we can count and rattle down at least 50 points over here that, these are the touch points which I would ensure that 15 or 20 points, you would feel it very, very closely in terms of service, to parking, to washrooms, to security, to food, to probably movie, to decor, to a marketing, to a campaigns. And that comes together in terms of as a package wooing a customer. That's very, very strong element which we all plan.
Just to
So-
add here, can I just add something on this topic? So I think I was just answering the question of how do we incentivize customers to buy come to the mall and not buy online. See, we don't malls are no more being scared of online, because online is here to stay. They will have their own fair share of our business, and they're here to stay. But my point is, nothing can replace the human interaction and human experience what we get in a physical buying space. That is why we were tucked inside our houses when there's a COVID, right? We have completely shifted our buying online. That time we thought, okay, mall's gonna be dead forever. But then we also saw for last 1 year when mall reopened, and we saw that most of the malls have done tremendous business. The growth was double digits. Certain newer malls have gone to 70-80% of growth initial few months. And the stabilized mall also have reached to 30-40% of business growth, which is clearly says that nothing can replace human interaction and human conversation which you have when you actually go in a shopping mall. So that's the answer. We have to create that experience in the mall, and customer will come. Even though they might buy certain things online, but they will come to the mall as well. And they are the share might stabilize. Okay, let's say I'll buy 10%, 20% online, but 80% I'll buy offline. Each customer has his own way of spending this money, but it's kind of stabilizing now. We are seeing it for the last 1 or 2 years. People are buying online, as we all know. We all buy online as well, but there's the lion's share goes to the physical retail. Hope I've answered the question.
So with this, we conclude our today's webinar. The session was really very interesting and enlightening. I hope all my viewers must have enjoyed it. And we shall be posting this recording on YouTube also. We've got a very good membership in YouTube. So I thank all my panelists for enlightening the viewers and sparing their precious time for us and sharing their experiences. So with this, we end our today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.